Hello everyone, and welcome back to the series where I crochet a square from the Granny Square Stitches card deck every week all year. And we are up to week number 15, and it is this one called Lozenges. So it looks like this one's going to be a 2-row repeat, so we're going to have some ends to deal with. Let's look at the instructions. To work the square shown on the card, make 14 chain and follow the chart, working in 2-row stripes of yarns A through C until square. And then we do our single crochet edging. Your stitch multiple needs to be, your starting chain needs to be a multiple of 3, and then you need to add 5 to deal with all the turning chains and everything. Alrighty, so similar kind of concept to what we've been doing, where we start with these granny clusters. We're skipping 2. There's no chains in between our granny clusters this time, but we skip 2 chains in between each cluster. But then on the way back, it's like we mirror the clusters. So these are single crochet togethers. So in your booklet, you will find all the symbols you need. And we are looking for these guys here. So these are decreases. So this is a double crochet 3 together. That's that symbol. So that's what we're seeing here on top of our cluster of 3. And you'll see up here, our cluster here, it says 3 double crochet increase. That's basically 3 double crochets in the same stitch. If you're not sure of how to work those stitches, the written instructions come later on after the symbols. So if we were looking at the double crochet stitches together, and you'll see here, it's got double crochet 3 and then in brackets 4, 5, 7 stitches together. And here it's double crochet 2 stitches together. That just, because you can have as many stitches together as the pattern calls for, and it just gives you a fuller look, or a less full look. Okay, so we are working in 3 colors, and I have chosen pink pearl, lavender, and lime to kind of mimic what we got going on here. So it looks like we're going to start with our purple. I'm just going to put these things away. Purple, lime, and then pink pearl. So let's organize my yarns in that order. And we're going to put a slip knot on our hook. And then we are going to chain 14. There's my chain of 14. And if we look at our chart, we've just made this chain of 14, and now we have to put our 3 double crochets into the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4th chain from the hook. We've got these 3 double crochet symbols coming out of, and then we're going to skip 2 and put 3 double crochets in the next. Remember, there's no chains in between these clusters. So 3 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook. Remember, I like to work in my back bumps, so I'm going to turn my chain over. There's my first chain, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to yarn over, insert into that 4th chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2. Now I'm going to do that trick where I'm marking my beginning chain. So this V behind my hook is from the double crochet, the first double crochet that I made. So I don't want to mark that one. I want to come behind and mark this V behind. That is the top of those 3 chains that we missed, and I'm going to have to work into that. in my next row. Okay, so I've got 1 double crochet there. I'm going to insert into that same chain and put another double crochet, and then 1 more time into that same chain for my 3rd double crochet. Now I'm going to come back down to my chain and skip 2, and in the next chain 3 double crochets. Repeat that again. Come down to my chain and skip 2, and into that 3rd chain put 3 double crochets. Oops. Got my starting tail all hooked in there. So now I come down to my chain. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 chains left. So I'm going to skip the next 2 chains into the second to last chain. I'm going to put my 3 double crochets, and then we'll take a look at the chart and see what we're doing with the last chain. Here I am here. This is my last chain. I need to put a double crochet, and then I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and put a double, make my double crochet 3 together in each of the tops of the 3 crochets below. So let's work through that together. First of all, we're going to double crochet in this last chain. Mine got a little tight. Here we go. And then I'm going to chain 3. Now I'm going to mark the top of that chain 3 just like I did with the starting chain 3, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to put a double crochet into that. I'm going to turn my work. Now these are the 3 double crochets that we are concerned about. So I'm going to make my double crochet 3 together in these 3 stitches. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to insert into that first double crochet, pull up a loop. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to pull through the first 2, but I'm going to pause. I'm going to yarn over again, insert into the next stitch and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 and pause. I'm going to yarn over again, insert into that 3rd stitch and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2. I've got 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. And that's how we get this sort of diamond pattern, because we got these 3 double crochets here, and then we've got these 3 double crochets that all meet up at the top. All right, let's take a look at the chart and see where we're going next. We've just done this. Now I have to chain 3 and repeat in the next cluster, and that's my repeat pattern all the way across. At the end, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to double crochet into that starting chain 3, and we're going to change color in that stitch. So to start, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. This is my next cluster from the row below. So this is where I'm going to make my double crochet 3 together. So I'm going to yarn over, insert into the first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 and pause. Yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 and pause. Yarn over again, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. I've got 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. And now I can chain 3 and repeat in the next cluster. All right, this is my last stitch there. So now I just have my turning chain. I need to chain 1 and then put a double crochet into my turning chain. So remember, I marked where that chain is so that I could keep track of it. So I'm going to take my stitch marker out, but I'm going to hang on to that chain so I don't lose it. I'm going to yarn over, insert into that chain, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first two. Now I need to pause and bring in my green. So I lay my green on my hook and pull it through. And then I'm going to chain 3 with my green and mark the top of my chain 3 with a stitch marker. So that's what we have so far. Okay. So we are here. I've just chained 3. Now I'm going to double crochet into the chain 1 space, chain 1, and then I'm going to make a cluster into my chain 3 space. So I'm not working into any stitches on this row until I get to the very end where I put a double crochet in my chain. So not really a stitch, but a chain. Okay, so we're going to double crochet in the first chain 1 space, chain 1, cluster, 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 chain 1, and we're ending with 2 double crochets. This is my first chain 1 space, so I'm going to double crochet into that chain 1 space. And then I'm going to chain 1, I'm going to hop over this cluster, and in this chain 3 space, I am going to make 3 double crochets. Now, just like the first row, we don't chain in between our clusters. I'm going to come over to my next chain 1 space and make my 3 double crochets. No chain in my last chain 1 or chain 3 space gets 3 double crochets. Now we're at the end and we're going to do chain 1 and then do 2 double crochets. So I'm going to chain 1, my first double crochet goes in, and I think I put my stitch marker in the wrong spot, but that's okay, we can move it. Let's just do that now. My first double crochet kind of goes in that chain 1 space there. So remember, we chained 4, and it's possible I only actually chained 3, but for the sake of this square, it's not going to make a difference. But I should have chained 4, and then that 4th chain becomes a chain 1 space, and the first 3 pretend to be a double crochet. So I've just put a double crochet in that chain 1 space, and then I'm going to find the top of my chain 3 and put a double crochet in there. And that's what we have so far. So this is what we just did. So my first double crochet was in this chain 1 space, and then my second double crochet was into the chain 3. So now I'm going to kind of repeat that a little bit. I'm chaining 3, I'm going to double, and it's I'll put a stitch marker there because it's going to pretend to be a double crochet, and then I'm going to double crochet on top of this double crochet, and then I'm chaining 3 and making my double crochet 3 together. Chain 3, double crochet 3 together, chain 3, double crochet 3 together, chain 3, and then I end with 2 double crochets, changing color to the pink in that last one. All right, so we start with a chain of 3, and we're going to put my stitch marker on the top of that chain 3. Make sure I'm in focus. Sorry, it goes in and out of focus. Turn my work. So this chain 3 is pretending to be a double crochet, but I need to double crochet in this next stitch, which is right there. And then I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to make my double crochet 3 together over these 3 stitches. So yarn over, insert into the first stitch, pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over, insert into the second stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert into the third stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4. And then we're going to chain 3 and repeat that in this next cluster. And you're going to do that all the way to the end. Okay, I've done my last chain, double crochet 3 together. I'm going to chain 3. I put a double crochet in my second to last double crochet, and then into the top of my turning chain, I'm going to start a double crochet, and then I will change color. Just got to get it in. I like to go underneath 2 strands of yarn. And then we got to bring in my pink. And then we are basically going to repeat 4 rows. So this annotation down the side, it says repeat. These are the rows that we are repeating. So we're repeating rows 2 through 4, 2, 5, sorry, 2, 3, 4, 5, over and over again until we have a square. According to this, we really only need to do the pink and then it's square. So I'm going to go ahead and keep going, and I will come back when it's square and we can work the border together. All right, I finished my pink repeat. I am indeed square, and now comes the border. So in the card, they have bordered it in the green, and I think, why not? Let's just follow what they've done in the card. I have already cut off the green section though. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to basically fasten this off, and I'm not going to worry about trying to attach, change color and attach. I'm just going to fasten it off, and I'm going to sew in all my ends, and then we can start the border together. All my ends are woven in. It is time to add my border. So we need to figure out where we're going to put stitches and how many we're going to get across there. Just like we've done the last couple of squares, we sort of have to maybe skip some spaces and that kind of thing to make the stitch count work. So first of all, let's look at these double crochet 3 together clusters at the top. Because they have 2 spaces to work stitches in. So this one is actually the double crochet 3 together stitch, and then this is our chain 1 after. So when we come over to this one, this is the stitch, and this is the first chain of our chain 3. So we're going to work in each of those spaces, and then we're going to start in the top of our ending double crochet. So let's count. 1, 2, 3. If we put 1 in the middle here, that'd be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that could work. I think it will pull these together a little bit more, which is probably a good thing. And then when we come down to the bottom, we've got the same sort of problem. Like the bottom is pulling in, and that's indicative of just kind of working into the chain the way we were. So when we come down the side, we're going to have to add extra stitches into each corner to sort of square it off. We'll deal with that when we get there. Okay, so I have put a slip knot on my hook with my green, and to attach yarn, you're just going to have the yarn behind your work, put your hook in the stitch from front to back, and pull the yarn through for a slip stitch. I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to single crochet right back into that stitch. And then we're going to single crochet into our chain 1, single crochet into the top of our cluster, 1 single crochet into the chain 3 space, repeat those sort of 2 single crochets on top of the cluster, 1 into the chain 3 space, 2 into the cluster stitch, 1 into the chain 3 space, all the way over. Oops, there we go. And then we've got this chain 1 space at the end, and then we can put one where our stitch marker was into the top of the turning chain. And that's our last stitch, so we need to make a corner, which is a chain 1, turn our work, and go right back into that same stitch, or in this case a chain, and make another single crochet. Now let's look down the side. We've got 6 rows this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we just did 2 double crochets in the ends of each row, we would only have 12. So I think top and bottom, we're going to add an extra stitch. I'm going to put, I've got 1 in my turning chain, but I'm still going to put 2 for this row, and then 2 here, 2 there, 2 there, 2 there, and then 3 here. So let's work that together. I don't particularly want to work around these chains. I want to work through them. So that's 1. And I am trying to have 2 strands of yarn on top of my hook. That's 2. There's 1 there. 2. Oops, I only picked up 1 strand there. Let's go back and do that again. So I've got 2 rows here, so I need to have 4 stitches, and then we'll deal with my corner. I'm actually going to go around the chain in that particular area. All right, I need 1 more. And then I'm going to come, this is my starting chain. So hopefully, if we do a count, that is 14. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yay! So this is my corner space. So I'm going to do a chain 1. I'm going to go right back into that stitch. Oops. And now we got to figure out where we're going to put our stitches and how many we're going to put across the bottom. So that's my first stitch. My next one is where my 3 double crochets come out. So that's easy. So 1, 2. If I put 2 in each of these spaces, let's see what our math is. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'd need 13, 14. So we are going to put an extra stitch here. So you see, I'm going to take my hook out of the way. If I pull my stitches, this is my starting chain where that first green stitch is, and then here is where my 3 double crochets come out of. I'm going to put another stitch in between those, and that will help my corner be more sharply squared, especially when I come around the other way. So I will repeat that on the other side. And let's do 2 in these chain 2 spaces. Whoopsies. One here where my cluster is. 2 on my chain 2 space, and again, this is my last cluster, so I'm going to put 1 in there, and then I'm going to put 1 beside it, and then 1 into my starting chain. Now let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yay, we did it. So I can chain 1 and go right back into that corner space. Do the same, like 2 per, same thing that we did on the other side. 2 single crochets per row with an extra 1 up here. And I'll do 1 more round and I'll come back and show you the finished square. All right, and there she is, all finished. So this was week 15, called Lozenges. Next week, we're going to be making this one. And no, I'm not holding it upside down. This one is called Crowns. So we're going to be getting familiar again with our 3 together, or double crochet 3 togethers, and we're adding a little something special into them to make these crowns. So I will see you then.